Hey guys, how are you today? Do you want to get into software testing, but you don't feel that you have the experience for it? Don't worry. Today I'm going to share with you 6 tips on how you can get a job in software testing without experience. Let's dive straight into it. Tip number 1. Learn about software testing. You have no experience, you have no idea of the field, so the first natural step would be to learn about it. A simple Google search can tell you what software testing is about. As a matter of fact, with tools like ChatGPT, it can give you an entire explanation on what software testing is and the entire software testing process. I would say be careful with ChatGPT because it is still learning. So I would recommend 2 sources in particular. One, istqb.com. That ISTQB stands for International Software Testing Qualifications Board. They have everything on the definitions in software testing and the entire software testing process. They have even free syllabi that you can download and learn about the whole testing cycle. I would also suggest you check out softwaretestinghelp.com. It provides various articles on different types of testing, from manual testing, test automation, performance testing, and security testing. They give different concepts from basic even up to advanced levels, and they also reinforce knowledge that is from the ISTQB syllabus too. So I would recommend, if you feel very overwhelmed with a Google search or even ChatGPT, check out those 2 sites first. Tip number 2. Find internships. Let's face it, you may not have the experience, but when you go for an interview, employers are looking for people with not just the knowledge, but experience as well. So what greater way you can get experience than getting into internships? I personally have known persons who have been interns in software testing, and they performed so well that the company decided to hire them full-time. And even if they weren't hired with that company, they gained some experience so that they could be hired by other companies as well. This is a good way to get your foot in the door. You might not be paid as much, but what matters is that you get the experience that you can showcase on your resume to potential employers. Or if you perform very well at that internship, who knows, the company you're interning with may decide to hire you full-time. So check out internships. Tip number 3. Volunteer for projects to get your experience. Let's say you are working in the customer service department, but you get wind of the fact that the company you're working with is replacing a critical system. Why not see if, in addition to what you're doing now, maybe outside of your regular working hours or so, you could probably volunteer to test the system once they implement that new system. That's a good way to get experience. So try volunteering. Who knows, you might be able to go ahead to volunteer for that project and hence get that experience. And guess what? Testing is not that. Initially, you might think that testing is hard. It's not. You see, once you have an eye for user experience, once you have an eye of critically reviewing systems that come out, and once you love to look at software and say, hey, this doesn't look good enough, this can be worded better, etc., then you can just jump in, you can start. So consider volunteering for projects that may come up at the company that you work. Tip number 4. Consider boot camps. There are quite a few boot camps on different tech skills out there today. They will teach you the basics of the skills that you need to know. And also they have a component where you can practice those skills on practice projects, as well as they will teach you things such as upgrading and constructing your resume, highlighting your experiences. I did some research and I found 2 of them so far. I found one called Careerist and another one called Top 10. Based on the curriculum that I was looking at, they will teach you the basic software testing skills up to even a little advanced level in areas such as test automation. They also have a component where you have an internship and also another component where they teach you how to construct your resume, how to construct your LinkedIn profile, and in order to highlight your experiences. So consider boot camps. I'm going to post them as links in the description below. Tip number 5. Network, network, network. In order to get a job in software testing and any job at all, you have to make sure that people know you, right? And I would say don't just network and say, oh, I need a job, help me to get one here. Why not network and show the value that you bring to the table? Based on the tips that I gave you earlier, chances are if you implement them, you can show that you have some knowledge and also some amount of experience as well, even if it is a small amount. In other words, demonstrating your value. The advantage of networking is that, especially with colleagues and friends who are already in the tech industry, they can look out for job posts for you. They can also tell you what skills you need to learn so that you can maximize your chance of getting that job in that job interview. So my advice to you, make sure you network as much as possible. Where can you network? You can start with friends and colleagues. You can also go to tech events where you can meet people as well. So consider especially tech events, tech conferences. Go there, make yourself known, learn more about the testing field and also exchange contacts too. So network, network, network. And tip number 6. Ensure that you review your resume and practice your interviewing skills. Let's say you got the experience, or rather, you got some experience and you have a good amount of knowledge. None of that will matter if there are errors on your resume. That is the quickest way for your resume to be routed to the trash. You have to ensure that you send your resume to a trusted colleague, a friend, so that they can spot obvious mistakes such as grammatical errors, spelling errors, and also errors, for example, sending the resume to the wrong address. This is where we have to be very detailed and thorough because we want to ensure that we at least get a foot in the interview. Then, when it comes to the interview, it is very important that you practice your interviewing skills ahead of time. Do you tend to get nervous? Do you tend to stutter in interviews? And do you tend to take long to actually address the questions at hand? Practicing ahead of time can help to alleviate these fears and also correct some of these mistakes so that they can be reduced when you get to the interview. So it's very crucial that you review your resume as early as possible and as often to catch obvious mistakes and also practice your interviewing skills. Those were the 6 quick tips I wanted to share with you on how to get a job in software testing with limited experience. Let me know if this is helpful by indicating in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content. In addition, if you want more details on any of the tips that I just mentioned, please comment below as well. I actually love your engagement and it also helps me to become better too. So, thank you for joining me on another episode of Journey to Tech with Courage and see you soon.